is Chris. Hope you're doing well, and welcome to Popcorn Finance, the show where we discuss finance and about the time it takes to make a bag of popcorn. Appreciate you all coming back and joining me for another episode. And today we're going to be talking about a topic that breaks my budget, it feels like every month, and that is my food budget. I don't know what it is. No matter what I do, I always seem to find a way to overspend when it comes to food. And so that's why I've asked Erin Chase from $5dinners.com to come on and give me some of her favorite tips that help her keep her food budget under control. So really excited for this conversation. But before we hop into that, I just want to say thanks to Instacart for bringing you all this bag of popcorn. Instacart makes it possible to have groceries delivered quickly to your home. And right now they're looking for shoppers. And becoming an Instacart shopper is easy, and it's great for anyone who's looking to make some extra cash in your free time. They offer very flexible schedules that allow you to work when it is convenient for you. And, doing food delivery is actually one of the things that I use to help me and my wife get out of debt earlier on in our financial lives together. So if you're looking for a side hustle that's convenient and fits into your schedule, whether that's on weekends, weekdays, after school, or work, I recommend you check out Instacart by visiting popcornfinance.com/Instacart to learn more and sign up. Again, that's popcornfinance.com/Instacart. So appreciate them bringing you all this bag of popcorn this week. Without further ado, let's pop into my conversation with Erin Chase. I need some help. I don't know what I'm doing. For some reason, food just stumps me every time on my budget. And I'm sure I can't be the only one. Why is food such a difficult item to budget for and just keep under control?
So I really think there's two reasons that food is tricky. The first one is we have to eat every day.
True.
I mean, that's like super obvious, right? But we have to eat every day. It's a necessity. We have to eat something every day. What ends up happening is we roll into what I think would be the second reason, is that because we have to eat every day, because we have to provide something for ourselves every day, we fall easily into the convenience trap. Yeah. And the convenience trap is drive-through or takeout or call Uber Eats or DoorDash or whatever is near you. We live so much in the moment. And I feel like with food and then having to pay for food, we just do it in the moment. And what we don't do is we don't calculate that in the moment. We don't calculate backwards to how much we've already spent on food. And we don't calculate how much we will be spending on food if we keep up these convenience type food habits. We all have them. I think that kind of those two things, we have to eat all the time, and then we fall into the convenience. We don't recognize that it's getting out of control because we're in the moment and we have to eat. So I'm just going to get this right now. And we don't retro add up what we've already spent on food, and we don't go forward and add up what we will spend on food. And then, multiply that. If you have a family, a couple kids, ooh, that gets out of control real fast.
Yeah, that is like a revelation to me, because I never even thought about it like that, because I do that all the time. Because when I budget for, groceries, I put that in quotes, I'm thinking of, this is going to be when we go to the store and buy food, and maybe once or twice buy some food out on a night here or there. But I do not factor in those days when it's I'm coming home late from work and I'm so hungry. I could wait the 30 minutes to get home, but I really wanted to stop and get something. And that, you're right, it just eats into other areas of my budget because I was not planning for that expense at all. So thank you for saying that, because like a light went off when you said that right now.
Well, good. And I think that's too, you bring up a good point. And this could be my third reason why it might be so difficult, is that there's grocery spending and then there's out to eat spending. And typically we kind of have a ballpark idea of how much we spend on groceries, because, you go to the store, you spend $125-ish a week, okay, that's $500-$600 on the month on the groceries. But what we don't add up is every time we're swiping our debit card in the drive-through or grabbing lunch or whatever. Not to say that you can't or shouldn't do those things. They can be part of your budget, but they need to be part of your budget, right? A couple thoughts around that would be, for me, Thursdays, I call it my trigger dinner day. I just can't do dinner on Thursdays. I don't know why. I just have this I'm a food blogger. I cook for a living, basically. But somehow Thursdays is just really hard for me personally. And so I have figured out that Thursdays is now going to just have to be a slow cooker meal. because I just need to do it in the morning, because Thursday afternoons, there's just something about Thursday afternoons. I just have a mental block on. I'm tired at that point. I've done a lot of work for the week. I've Ubered my kids all over town already. Like, I'm just kind of over it. But I figured out, like, that was my tough day. So I figured out how to get around that. But I think it's just that awareness of what are my trouble spots. Maybe it's you're going out to lunch too much, or maybe you need to cut your coffee habit, like whatever it is, you need to come up with an alternative first, right? Like with any habit change, right? You need to come up with an alternative. So my Thursday night, just don't want to cook dinner, going to buzz through the drive-through. My habit change is that's now a slow cooker day. Does that make sense?
No, that makes perfect sense. It's almost like figuring out like what are those situations or things that kind of trigger this need to go buy food, and kind of cutting yourself off, like providing a solution before that even happens. So that way you don't spend money that you didn't even plan on spending at all. So that's
exactly right there. Yep.
What you said so far is, one, plan into your budget if you're going to actually be eating out. Like, don't do like me and just call it this grocery budget line item when really I'm including all kinds of things in that. That's not truly just groceries. So separate out if you are going to eat out, put that there, set money aside specifically for that. And then also kind of look for those things that trigger you to end up spending money that you didn't plan on eating out, to kind of maybe cut yourself off or provide maybe alternative, bring some food with you. Something that you can do to help yourself out to not find yourself in those situations where you're going to spend a lot of unplanned money.
Exactly. I love it.
And then I want to ask you, because I feel like I've learned a lot already at this point, but do you have any other tips for us to keep this food budget, this spending under control?
Well, we've already talked a lot about the out to eat part. So why don't we talk about the groceries part, which is what I normally talk about. I'm normally the groceries girl. So, 3 tips about groceries. The first is look at the store ads before you go in the store. I mean, it's okay if you pick them up when you're walking in, but it's really better for you to look at them. They're on the store's apps. They're on the store's websites. The store will email them to you. Like, you can get them to come to you. Look at them, see what's on sale. And if you do anything, you learn anything from me, it's plan your meals for that week. Just a couple. It doesn't have to be every meal of the day. Pick, 4 or 5 days you're going to eat at home, and plan them based on the meat that's on sale. Okay. Just that alone right there will cut big time into your budget. If you can kind of roll that way from, week to week, month to month, keeping the meat prices as low as possible, you're going to see a nice dent into your grocery spending. The second one is the planning. Apart from the eating out, like, yes, plan that, but plan what you're going to eat. And on the days that you don't feel like cooking, for me, that would be Thursday, as we know, do it anyways. I hear that I just don't feel like making what I put on my plan.
Yep.
Well, I'm super sorry. That is cash you're throwing into the trash if you don't make that food.
I do that so often.
Don't use it. And that's just like that, but that's a mood thing. But also look at those moods and figure out, okay, Thursday, I don't want to cook. So I figured that out. I have a solution for that, right? So meat when it's on sale, stock up if you can. Planning for sure is crucial. And then I know coupons are kind of going out of style, but they're still a thing. They really are. And, I in the past have gotten really into like the planning and the prep and printing all my coupons out ahead of time and pulling them all out. And now I just try to save anywhere between $5 and $10 a week with coupons, whether that's a coupon that's just kind of on the product in the store, whether that's, there's pasta coupon. I'm going to actually get like 10 boxes of pasta. So I'll use 5 coupons or whatever the coupon is. Right. And just because if you're using them strategically, you really can save a lot of money. $10 a week, $520 on the year. Yeah. Thank you very much. It adds up faster than you think. And that kind of overall, I guess, and then a real closeout would be overall mindset is thinking forward or backwards, how much your total spending is versus how much your spending is in that moment, whether it's at the grocery store checkout line or in the drive-through, right? Because that's all we see. We experience in the moment, right? But then with our money, we have to look at spending patterns in the past, and we have to look forward and see how much this is going to, snowball. What is this food going to snowball into? Is it going to snowball into what I've budgeted, or is it going to snowball out of control because I'm falling into the convenience traps and I'm stuck, making not awesome decisions in the moment because I didn't plan well.
That's something to think of. And I guess all areas really, just to be mindful. And it should be no different when you're thinking about your food budget. Just be mindful of what you're doing, your triggers, your habits, and then make those changes. So that's a great point. I really appreciate that. I have some ideas now of what I need to do. There's some definite changes I need to make in what I'm doing with my food budget. I think this gives me a really great place to start. And so for other people who are struggling with their food budget, who want to learn how to shop better, to handle their meal planning better, where can they learn more about you and what you're doing?
Well, first of all, awesome. I'm so glad that was helpful. I love this. I love helping people spend less money on groceries. And so if you want to learn more information about how to do that, you can visit us at 5. It's the number 5. Although if you spell it out, you'll get there as well. $5dinners.com has all the information about our recipes and meal plans and resources, everything you'll find there.
I'll definitely be making sure I follow along, and I'll give you an update of if I was successful at all next year.
Good. Yay. Okay, wait to hear. Yay.
Thank you. All right, well, Erin, I really appreciate you coming on the show and sharing some advice. And yeah, definitely looking forward to hearing people's stories and how they've been able to improve their budget line item for food, hopefully in a positive way like I'm hoping to do.
Awesome. Thanks so much for having me on.
All right, take care.
Your boy keep it poppin' like Mary Poppins.